TNT chefs.
And today we're going to make something that's dairy-free,
sugar-free, and gluten-free.
And it's really versatile.
And delicious. Absolutely amazing. It melts in your mouth.
It's
Marshmallows! They're better than artificially made anything from the stores. Amazing.
I love them 10 times more than store-bought marshmallows.
One-way trip to heaven! We're going to start making the marshmallows by dissolving the unflavored gelatin into cold water. So, we take 3 packets of unflavored gelatin and put it into a small bowl. Then you take a half a cup of cold water, pour it in the bowl, and you begin mixing. Take your spatula with the bowl, start to mix. Soon, we will get a nice thick texture. Pour the gelatin into the standing up mixer.
Step is we're going to take all of our wet ingredients and add them into a large saucepan to bring them to a boil. And our first ingredient is organic blue agave sweetener. And you're going to take 1.5 cups of this and put it in the pan. And agave sweetener comes from cactus, and we like it because it's very sweet, but it doesn't have the effects on your body like sugar does. Next, we're going to take 1 tablespoon of flavoring, whichever flavoring you like, but in our case, we think vanilla goes best with marshmallows. Tablespoon of vanilla, and then we're going to take 1 little teaspoon Okay, so
of salt.
We've already put the candy thermometer in the pan, but you can refer to the chef tips on thermometers to see how to do that safely. So next we're going to bring all of our ingredients to a boil at 248 degrees. This is shot in the actual time that it takes to reach 248 to 250 degrees. So don't leave it without someone keeping an eye on it. Boiling sugar can become very dangerous, so you don't want it to overflow. When the rolling bubbles reach the top of a 9-quart pan, it has reached its final temperature. There are certain rules that should be respected in order to cook safely. One of those rules is that the handles of the pan on the stove should be turned to the side so that it can't be bumped into or pulled on by a toddler. Sweetened liquids reach their boiling point very quickly. Now the mixture is at 248 and it's at a rolling boil, as you can see. So now that our agave mixture has reached 248 degrees and we let it boil for a little bit, we're going to take the candy thermometer out and make sure you do that with the knob because it gets really hot and you don't want to touch it. And then we're going to take our mixture and bring it over to this mixer and mix it in with our gelatin. And we're going to pour it in a really slow and steady stream to make sure that it's even. Now we're going to whip our mixture for 12 minutes. After 5 minutes, it's going to look like this. After 10 minutes, this is what the mixture will look like. After 10 minutes, it's not quite peaks yet. Now, 13 minutes later, it's done. And you can see the peaks.
Cover our pan with parchment paper. We're going to spray it with cooking spray so that it keeps the parchment paper in place. But just a little bit. Take the parchment paper out. Lay it over. Give yourself a little bit more than you think you would need. Take your amazing cooking tool and cut it straight across. After we're done with that, we take the parchment paper. You're going to press the parchment paper down, really focusing on the corners, and lay it out. You're going to coat the bottom with coconut in a motion like this.
You can cover the bottom of the pan with rice flour or tapioca flour if you aren't a fan of coconut. Try to spread out the marshmallow, which is called fluff or cream at this point, and even out the top surface. The marshmallow needs to sit for at least 3 hours, or you can leave it overnight. Once it's set up or hardens enough to cut, lift the parchment paper out of the pan. Remember that although it's set up, it's still very sticky. Use a serrated knife, like a bread knife, and dip it with water before cutting and in between every cut. Then you pull the marshmallow apart and turn it around in the coconut or flour that's on the bottom of the parchment paper to keep the marshmallows from sticking to each other or anything that touches them.
One-way trip to heaven! One-way trip to heaven. Wait, to what?